Hello friends, Apex of YouTube content Worm here today to talk about some of the stuff that we saw today and some of the stuff's going on in game right now. Of course, we just got a new season, and I just kind of want to talk about some stuff, not really initial thoughts or anything like that, and it's not going to follow any, sets direction or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the stuff that we saw today and some of the stuff we've experienced in game so far. Quick note before we go on, if you wanted the Dream Cycle or Dreamsicle, I don't know how you say it, shader from last season that was only available for silver, it is in the Everywhere store for 300 Bright Dust today, so go and get it. But let's talk about some of the stuff that we saw with the final shape and whatnot. I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to start with Red Death. We're getting Red Death back because I love Red Death, and it's coming back as a solar weapon, so I imagine that getting kills with Red Death is going to give you restoration or something like that. I am pretty excited about that. That is coming with Final Shape. I think maybe it's one of the seasons after, or episodes after, which we'll talk about in a second, or something like that. But yeah, just wanted to bring that out. Like I said, this is not going to follow any particular format or anything like that, but we got our first glimpse at some of the stuff going on with the new destination, which is of course Inside the Traveler, aka the Pale Heart is what it's called. It's a linear linear map, so most maps, like Cosmodrome for example, it's a big circle. You can kind of follow around in a circle. You go from the steps to the Moth Yards, to the Skywatch, to the Forgotten Shore, then back to the Moth Yard, and stuff like that. So it's cool that we're getting a linear one. I also don't know how well this is really going to work, because exploration is going to be kind of boring because you go through it once and then you go back through it again. So I would assume there's probably going to be fast travel points, but still pretty neat idea. But I really think where the new location is doing very well, is going to do very well, is in the actual design. We saw some really crazy looking stuff, some shattered realms. We saw giant statues of, I don't know, people. I don't know if they were human or not, but giant humanoid statues, which looked pretty cool. So the new location is going to be pretty awesome. Of course, we already knew it, but we're going to be fighting the Witness. Don't know what that means. Don't know if we're going to win or lose, so to speak. Because if you think about it, the Witness, I mean, I'm not going to say the Witness is necessarily the bad guy. Like, from what I understand, and my knowledge of the lore is not the best, but it's also not the worst. But the Witness came from a race of people, I guess some of the first people to be touched by the Traveler or Gardener, or whatever they called it. But they realized that the Traveler, if it has the power to give all these gifts, it also has the power to take them all away and cause destruction. And so they want to end the Traveler because it has the power to destroy. Doesn't sound like necessarily a bad thing to me. It's kind of like Thanos, he was the bad guy, but really, was he the bad guy? I don't know, anyways, Witness makes a good point. At any rate, yeah, lots of cool stuff. 3 new supers and some new aspect for our light subclasses. I thought it was interesting Bungie chose to give us more light subclasses, but also it makes sense. Again, light versus darkness. I don't know, pretty cool, especially with a new enemies type, which is the Subjugator, which we'll talk about in just a second. But yeah, the new light subclass supers look really cool. The Titans, in my opinion, looks like it's going to be probably the most powerful, throwing those axes that are basically, they look like Nova bombs, sucking enemies in, and then the ability to go pick it up and start swinging it around. Like, that's pretty darn cool. I think it's going to be really strong. But the Warlocks looks like the most fun, I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Hunters, I mean, the ability to teleport to a knife is neat, but that's kind of it. The Warlocks, though, I mean, you get that butterfly grenade, or what do they call it? I think the bird thing grenade. Looked pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, returning exotics, Dragon's Breath, Red Death. I know they mentioned another one from Destiny 1. I can't remember what it was. Oh, the Kavasta. There you go. Super excited for those to come back. Looking forward to seeing how they're going to be reworked, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to cover the whole thing because most of y'all probably watched it or are going to watch, like Astrocross video or something covering it. Where I really wanted to, I guess, kind of touch on is with the whole current story, or not story, the current season, right? We've got a lot of neat stuff this season. First of all, I want to say props to Bungie because I think it's necessary, right? I don't know if y'all have looked in collections, but you can see the Universal Ornament set that Bungie, if I'm not mistaken, said is going to be able to be obtained for free. And it looks insane. very, very good. The Biosphere Explorer suit, it looks really good. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out in game when you get home, or if you're on game right now, check it out. So good job to Bungie for doing that. It's a very, in my opinion, the best looking Universal Ornament set we have gotten to date, especially for the Titan. It looks so good on Titan. But you know, Hunter Warlock also look very good. It's got a very interesting theme going for it there. In terms of new like activities and stuff, I really like that Bungie went out with this. They went with this kind of out of left field theme with like witches and, you know, what is it, like cards, like what are those cards, almost like tarot card kind of theme. I don't really know, tarot, something like that, some kind of card that, you know, those really interesting people that are a little out there kind of use. It fits the whole vibe. I like that Bungie went with this theme. It seems like it's going to be very interesting, but I also think, sorry, I got some in my eye, I also think it's going to follow kind of the same you know, route that other seasons have gone. Like, it's not going to be too crazy different, not going to be too difficult to understand how it works, stuff like that. And by the end of the season, we're going to be all powerful, blah, blah, blah. Seasonal armor set looks hideous. The universal ornaments, really cool. But the seasonal armor set, the helmets look so ugly. The rest of it looks okay. Like, the Titan set doesn't look half bad. Warlock set doesn't look half bad, but the helmets are really, really ugly. We already know kind of the story and where it's going with, you know, the Witch Queen coming out, and, or not coming out, but the Witch Queen being a heavy influence on the season, and Imaru and stuff like that. Overall, seems to be some very exciting stuff coming up this season. I have yet to really get in and play it. I've been kind of waiting on my wife to do some of the stories, stuff like that, but I was trying to get Monte Carlo's Catalyst in this video, which is why we're doing strikes. I know, not the most exciting stuff to watch, but I really want that Monte Carlo Catalyst because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. One of the disappointing things I discovered this season, we still have yet to get a Stasis or Strand Glaive to go in the kinetic slot. Very disappointing, because I want a Glaive that's not in the energy slot, not in the heavy slot, which uses an exotic. Yeah. Super disappointed that we saw that, but we did see some great, or we're seeing some great archetypes of weapons. 140 hand cannon, now Strand. That's awesome. Super great to hear. We've also got some new perks, one of which I am looking very, very excited for. We made a video a couple weeks ago asking Bungie to bring in more team, like support role style weapons and perks and stuff like that. And of course, in the reveal today, we were told we're going to get a support. What is that? A support frame auto rifle, which is going to play that support role. So I'm super excited for that. Sorry, I cannot contain my excitement. I'm very, very hyped for that. But we also got a new perk, which is basically like the opposite of kill clip. I think it's called heal clip. But you get a kill, you reload, it grants you cure to you and nearby allies, which is really, really awesome. I'm again very happy to see them going in the direction of support roles. What else is there to talk about with the new season? Man, I don't know. It's one of those things. There's a lot going on. We'll have to jump into and explore more. I know the new seasonal weapon, it looks really cool. I have not touched it and played with it yet. Again, I'm kind of waiting on my wife so we can test it out together and see what it's all about. But it looks really cool, because from what I'm understanding, it is a grenade launcher that basically never runs out of ammo. And I would assume it's probably the Hive Boomer style weapon we saw in the reveal today too. So that's super cool. I've also looked at the exotic armors. All the exotic armors we got for this season look really good. Okay, I cannot wait to get my hands on the Titans. Was the Immolators something like that? The gauntlets for the Titan, which allow your Burning Maul to be a one and done kind of deal, and allows your the melee ability that I'm using in this video, I can't remember what it's called, to create cyclones. Like, that's super, super cool. Very, very interesting. Overall, initial impressions based on what I've seen, Bungie, they gave us a banger of a season based on the day one content that we have access to, right? You know, you can go out and get these new exotics today, even if it's not the Lost Sector. Remember, Vex Strike Force public event can give you the new exotics as well as doing the Lost Sectors. So just keep that in mind. But so far, I mean, aside from the seasonal armor, everything is looking really, really good. The weapons, they look sorry, they look fantastic. The armor sets, aside from the seasonal one, look fantastic. New Trials armor looks fantastic. New ornament set looks fantastic. The weapons that we got, they look, I haven't seen perks, but it looks like we're getting some archetypes that we've been asking for. A new Strand rocket launcher too, which is very nice because the only one we've had so far was the Duolog, which is... yeah, it's the Duolog. I got like 2 and they both kind of suck and I didn't want to do any more. But I'm excited to see where this season's taking us. I mean, yesterday's video was an effort to hype me up, hype y'all up, and after the reveal, you know, cautiously optimistic is how I'm feeling. You know, we saw a lot of cool stuff, but of course we need to see it, especially with how Lightfall came out. We need to make sure that we see it, you know, and play with it and test it in game before we just go out and, you know, hey, like, this is the most coolest thing ever, let's blah, blah, blah. Like, we need to see how it's going to be. But based on what I've seen, it does look like the setting is going to be good. You know, the new enemies are going to be good. Like, you know, hopefully we just see a better delivery than Lightfall when it comes to the Final Shape, which I'm sure that we will get. I mean, Final Shape is the banger. It's the going out for Destiny. It's not going out. That's something we're going to talk about in like literally next, but yeah, you know, Final Shape being the end of the Light and Darkness saga, big deal. I think Bungie is going to make it a big deal. Now, I do want to talk about the after Final Shape, because this is something that I did not see Bungie doing, but I am happy and cautious about it. Cautiously optimistic, again, if you would, right? So after the Final Shape is over, we are moving from the seasonal model to an episode model, and we're going to get 3 episodes once every 4 months for a year, right? So right off the bat, we're getting less seasons, right? It's like we're getting less seasons, which is, you know, sounds like a bummer, but Bungie is taking these and they're dividing these episodes up into different, I think they call them acts, but they're different parts, right? Part 1, part 2, and part 3. So every 6 weeks, we are going to get a refresh on, I don't know if it's going to be content necessary, but we are getting some kind of a refresh, which is nice. So, you know, they said in episode 1, when it first launches, you'll be able to go from 1 to 100. Then for act 2 of episode 1, you'll go from, I would assume 100 to 150. And then act 3, you go from 150 to 200, right? So, you know, you're going to be able to level up, get rewards from what is technically still a season pass, I guess. You know, it's still a season pass. But the reason I'm cautiously optimistic about it is, will we see a price drop, right? Because currently we get the, you know, when we buy yearly expansion plus annual pass, right? We see, sorry, I lost my train of thought. You know, Lightfall, for example, we got Lightfall and the season, or and the season pass, which was 4 seasons all included for, I think it was $100, right? Is that trend going to continue? Is Lightfall going to cost $100 and then only give us 3 seasons, right? And so what I'm worried about is, are we going to get less for the same amount, or are they going to lower the price for, you know, less content, or are we going to get more for the same price? Because I'm really hopeful we get more for the same price. I mean, I think everybody would be, right? More for the same price would be fantastic, but we'll just have to see where it goes from there. I'm excited to see, you know, how the episode system works. It is going to be refreshing that we're not getting a seasonal model anymore. You know, so 6 weeks of a small story, 6 weeks of another small story, 6 weeks of another small story. Then we're going to move into the next episode. That's how I'm predicting it, or that's how I'm thinking it's going to go. Not predicting, but that's how I'm thinking it's going to go. So looking forward to how that's going to work. Very excited about it. And then, of course, how long will that continue for? I mean, is that going to be going on for the next 10 years in Destiny? Or is that something that they're looking at doing for like 2 years and then maybe having another, you know, big, you know, new storyline? I don't really know, but yeah, like I said, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comments on everything we talked about. I know it's kind of a little bit chaotic. This video has been chaotic today, but I'm really excited. I just want to talk about some of the things I've seen from the new season and stuff that I'm super excited for. So that's kind of the point of this video. Plus, the new season just started. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of content to just dive right into. So we'll build some hype for this season through this video. But yeah, if you liked it, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Of course, subscribe for more daily Destiny content, conversations, stuff like that. And do me a favor, watch the videos that you see on the end screen, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you will like them. Guys, I will see y'all tomorrow.